it's not wedding day today, but we're going to San Antonio. It's pretty exciting. I haven't had a vacation in about 4 years or so. The last time I went was to Europe, so it's pretty exciting. And you know, things tend to get a little crazy when you have kids. You start having less time to do things. Your time gets spread out a lot more thinly. So pretty excited actually to go to San Antonio today. So we're gonna start packing up some stuff right now. And you know, we got a long drive. It's about 4.5 hours to get to San Antonio from where we're at. And you know, we're gonna go to the wildlife ranch and some museums, and hopefully we can go out for our anniversary. Been married for 5 years. It's pretty crazy to think. It feels like I just got married. We were just in Hawaii, and now we're here. Got 2 kids 5 years later. Anyways, let's start packing. I'm bringing the flamingo shirt. Are you excited to go to San Antonio?
Yeah.
Excited?
Yeah.
How excited are you?
2 minutes.
2 minutes? That was a long and very painful drive with the kids, having to pee every 5 minutes.
Yay! We're here!
We're finally here.
Because I told him it was our anniversary, and if you want wine or red wine, complimentary of the hotel.
Ooh. And?
I said I'll ask my husband. I thought they were gonna charge. I thought they were gonna. What's that smell? Is it that pork rinds?
Yeah, my pork rinds.
I thought they were gonna charge, so they're like, yeah, just let me know it's complimentary of the hotel. And I was like, oh, okay.
So we got a room upgrade?
We got a room upgrade. I mean, it's it's right below the pool.
Oh really? It pays to get married. It pays to get married. Go. So super nice that. So my wife is always really sociable and stuff, and so super nice that she was able to help us get an upgrade. She mentioned that it was our anniversary, which it is, and they give us an upgrade. So let's go check out the room. Thanks to Doreen and Tweets for helping us out. We're gonna go check out the pool right now. Gotta go park the car in the garage, and then as soon as I finish parking the car, we're gonna go check out the pool, probably get something to eat, and hopefully sleep soon, because our poor wife's been up all night packing and cleaning and everything, so.
One.
Got to come back and just pick up a couple of other knickknacks here, like all this chocolate. I can't leave it in the car, it's gonna melt. And some sippy cups. We need all these sippies. And we could throw away all this trash, I'm sure. I cannot wait to spend the weekend with the family today, or to spend the week with the family. it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I just gotta find a place for us to park. And while we're here, I wanted to talk to you all about something wedding related. You know, I didn't want to bring you all along just for the hell of it without getting something useful out of this video. Check it out. We got the Riverwalk right here. I wanted to talk about wedding pricing and how it reflects on your business. And if you want to think about something briefly, let's say if you had two photographers and one charged $300 for a wedding and the other one charges, you know, $5,000 for a wedding, your automatic inclination is to go, or to assume that the person that's charging $5,000 is a lot more better at their craft or a wedding photography as opposed to the $300. So it doesn't necessarily always have to mean that you have to charge little or try to compete and versus price. A lot of people will pay more just for the comfort of knowing that you probably are going to be a better photographer. So I want to talk about price today, and not so much on how to do your pricing structure, but more so on the theory and the psychology behind pricing your wedding videos. Because let's face it, there's a lot of videos out there on how to price your photography, and everybody does their own thing, and I really don't think anybody has the answers. Because if anybody goes out there and says that they have the answer to your wedding pricing issues, I don't think that would be very accurate to say. But I do want to offer you the theory on it and kind of get you to think about how to price your wedding photography. Anyways, let's go check out the pool. I'm gonna go meet the family. We're gonna go upstairs and we're gonna check out the pool because I know my daughter's been super excited to go check out this pool. She's been talking about it all week. Been working like crazy, been working like a dog. And, you know, vacation time is finally here. And let's go spend some time with the family because that's what we're really here for, right? So today's day 2. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about as far as pricing is one of the things that I did when I first started out was I did a lot of market research, and I think that's one of the successes for any business is to understand what your market is doing and what your competitors are doing before diving in and setting a price. It's very simple to do, actually. A lot of photographers, as far as weddings go, I could teach you a really quick and easy trick on figuring out roughly how much every photographer in your area is making.
One is you can try and guess what they're charging. Not very accurate, right, when you're first starting out. But you can go to a website, photographer's website, and most of the time photographers post their prices online, or they put a starting price. They'll say we start at a certain amount, and you go based off of that. So for example, if you do one photographer and you look them up and you say, oh, they start at $1,000, so you can just roughly guess that you're charging $1,000 per wedding or something. You're probably thinking, how do I figure out what they're making per year? And it's super easy. So if you get that $1,000, go to their Instagram, go to their Facebook. It's kind of weird, but you gotta stalk them a little bit, and you gotta look at how many weddings they've posted in the past year, right? How many different couples they have. So let's say you go through their Instagram for the entire year, and you notice that they've only done 10 weddings, right? There's only 10 different couples that they posted. This gives you a rough estimate that that wedding photographer made $10,000 last year, charging $1,000 per wedding. That gives you a rough estimate. And the reason you want to do this is because when you want to set your pricing, you want to somewhat be in the ballpark. Now, if you've established yourself and you've been doing this for a long time, having a pricing that's similar to other photographers might not do it, since you're the person that's been around for a while. People would expect you to charge a lot more, and so then at this point, this advice doesn't really matter. You can charge whatever you want because you're an established photographer, especially if you have like a popular YouTube channel or something, and you got all these awards and blah blah blah. You know, you can charge $10,000, $20,000. It doesn't matter because you know you've established yourself and you're a big name photographer. So that's just one of those things that I started, was doing market research and looking at all the competition and what they're doing. And hopefully that advice helps you out, because you know, it's one of those things we don't think about. A lot of us think that we're just good photographers and we can start a business by doing that, but there's so much more that goes into being a photographer and a wedding photographer. And it's not simply just taking good photos. Actually, nowadays it's probably the last thing that I really think about now is about composition, photos, exposure. It's always the back end stuff that really gets you: the editing, contracts, meeting with clients, you know, answering questions back and forth, building albums, all that stuff. All that stuff takes up a lot more time than wedding photography, actually doing the wedding and shooting the photos. And so something to consider, something to think about. Anyways, let's finish this run. So I just finished my workout. We did a quick 4-mile run. I'm gonna take a quick shower. We're going to go to the wildlife ranch, finally. We're getting ready. We're probably gonna shower up here in a bit. And I'm debating whether I should bring the Black Magic or just keep with the A7 III. You get 12-bit RAW on the Black Magic, but it's manual focus. It's cumbersome. I gotta bring like 10 batteries with me just to make it through the day. And the A7 III is super compact. It's autofocus, but then it's 8-bit. And then it's 1080, 60p, you know. I really think I'm gonna bring the Black Magic just for this B-roll series of the wildlife ranch. And let's see. I'll let you guys know how convenient it is to bring on a shoot to try to like manual focus and shooting. So let me show you what I'm working with here. So I'm gonna bring this Black Magic here with a little top handle, and we're using the Canon FD lenses. It's this 24mm, and I've got the Metabones speed booster adapted to it for Canon FD to micro four thirds mount. Of course the cage, and I've got like a ton of batteries. And then I'm gonna be bringing this thing. Everybody knows what this thing is. It's a Polar Pro by Peter McKinnon, whatever. And then got a Pro Mist filter on here as well. I don't know if we can focus on this. Focus, Sony. Anyways, So we're going to put a Pro Mist on here. So I'll just kind of take the digital edge off the footage. So I'm going to try it out and see what it looks like. And hopefully we get some good B-roll footage here. You know, of course I want the kids to enjoy themselves as well. So that's really why we're doing all this. But if we can get some good footage along the way, why not, all right? Alrighty guys, that was a lot of fun. It really brought back a lot of great memories from my childhood, doing all those fun stuff, feeding the ostriches and the zebras and stuff. Unfortunately, due to COVID, they weren't allowing us to feed the animals, but my daughter and son had a lot of fun doing it. And you know, it's been great so far. These last few days have been great. It's been time, you know, just to take a break from all this editing, you know, work, even at the hospital. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm still a nurse. I still work in the hospital, so it's just been nice to kind of just take a chill and relax and try not to think about all the stuff that I got pending. I guess the last thing I want to talk about is regards to wedding pricing, because I did say that I wanted to give you some tips about weddings and stuff and your pricing. Is the opposite, which is making yourself cheap, or being that cheap photographer or the budget-friendly photographer. It works initially at the beginning. You know, in order to make a living, though, it's going to be very difficult to maintain that type of business model. You know, they doing weddings for $500-600 and doing multiple weddings, you know, over a weekend, it gets very difficult. And then also the expectation from your clients is that you're kind of like a cheaper photographer, and so there's not really that respect for you as an artist. And I feel like once you get to that point where people start to respect your work as a creative artist, and it might seem cliche or kind of like cheesy or whatever, but there is a fine line, and you don't become a button pusher anymore, and you actually become an artist, and you actually become a part of the wedding. And that feels really, really great when you start crossing that line and you start becoming that. weddings become so more enjoyable, and I maintain a lot more relationships with my couples even after the wedding. We're still friends on social media, and we start, comment on each other's posts, and it's really a great way to make friends. Well, yes, initially the transaction might be more just monetary. Over time, most of you have an opportunity to make relationships with your couples, and yeah, that's just something to consider. I mean, you don't want to always be the cheap guy. It's very hard to sustain. You won't last. You won't last in this business by being cheap and trying to undercut everybody, because there's always somebody that's going to be willing to do it for free. Let's say if you charge $300-400, somebody will do it for $200 or even free. But if you're charging $5,000-10,000, it doesn't matter. Somebody does it for free. That couple really gonna go with a free person? I mean, by all means, but there's this big, huge disconnect, and there's this negative anchor where they go and they contact you for $5,000-10,000, and then they find somebody that does it for free. There's a negative anchor because they knew that they were gonna pay $5-10 grand for a wedding photographer, and now somebody's doing it for a lot cheaper. There's this negative anchor that sticks in their head where they start thinking like, well, there probably is a huge difference between photographer A and photographer B. And so that's just something I want to leave you with. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit, because it helps the algorithm. And I'll see you guys in the next video when I enjoy my vacation. Peace.